Hello friends, today we are discussing the subject microprocessor. In this lecture series, this one is the ninth part, which will discuss about the 8036 DX signals, bus cycles, and the 387 processor. The 386 DX signals, the pin diagram of the 386, the bus cycle, the system clock, bus states, pipeline, and a non-pipeline bus cycles. The 8037's NDP numerical data processor, that is a coprocessor. The figure shows as shown in a figure. It consists of the 386 block diagram. A hash sign indicates which is an active low. As shown in the figure, the byte enable signals are there, bus cycle definition signals are there, a coprocessor signalings are there, power connection is there, a bus arbitration signals are there, interrupts are there, and a bus control. So the all the pin lines are connected here with a data bus of the 32-bit. Address bus is of the 30-bit. A0 and A1 is not used here. So the clock, which is of the 2 multiplied by the 2. Okay. A clock, the input pin provide the basic system clock timing for the operation of the 386 DS. D0 to D31. These are the 32 lines acts as a bidirectional data bus during the different access bus cycle. A2 to A31 these are upper 30-bit of the 32-bit address bus. Okay. Out of 32-bit, only 30-bit address line is here, which is of the upper 30 bits. B0 to BE3 bus enable signals 0 to BE3. The 32-bit data bus supported by the 80386 and the memory system of the 80386 can be provided as a 4-byte wide memory access mechanism. As shown in the figure, the memory banks are 4 memory banks which are connected with a B0, BE2, B3, B1 are active low signals. A bus control signal ADS address data stroke. It is active when issued a valid request. The address data output pin indicates that the address bus and a bus cycle definition piece. Right, read or write as a question. The read part is having the hash signs, that means it is an active low. Memory or IO has been a active low. BE0 to BE3 are the active low, are carrying the respective valued signal. BS16, the bus size 16 input allows the interfacing of the 16-bit devices with the 32-bit wide 8036 data bus. A ready signal indicates to the CPU that a previous bus cycle has been terminated and the bus is ready for the next cycle. The signal is used to insert the wait states in a bus cycle and is useful for interfacing of slow devices with the CPU. NA signal gives the address of the next instruction if pipelining is enabled. If a pipelining is not enabled, this pin is high. If an instruction is in a wait state. Bus arbitration hold pin. The bus hold input pin enables the other bus master to gain the control of the system bus if it is asserted. Hold A. The bus hold acknowledge output indicates that a valid bus hold request has been received and a bus has been relinquished by the CPU. INTR signal. This interrupt pin is a maskable interrupt that can be masked using the IF of of a flag register NMI. That is a non-maskable interrupt. A valid request signal at the non-maskable interrupt request input pin internally generates a non-maskable interrupt of the type 2, a reset pin. A high at this input pin suspends the current operation and restart the execution from the start of the location. Coprocessor signal. The busy input signal indicates to the CPU that the coprocessor is busy with the allocated task. The error pin, the error input pin indicates to the CPU that the coprocessor has encountered an error while executing its instruction. The processor extension request. Output signal indicates to the CPU to fetch a data. A bus cycle definition piece lock. A bus clock is a bus cycle definition pin that indicates that a system have locked a system bus of other peripherals. Read or a write is a bus cycle definition pin that distinguish a write cycle from the read cycle. Data or a control is a bus cycle definition pin that distinguish a data cycles, either memory or a IO, from the control cycles, which are interrupt acknowledge, halt, and the instruction fetching. Memory IO is a bus cycle definition pin that distinguishes the memory cycles from the input output cycles. Power connection pins, that are the VCC, these are the system power supply lines and a ground pin. This is a whole explanation about the 8036 pin diagram. Thank you friends for watching the video.